Hello and welcome to Milda's Performance Research channel. This little video will be a part of the series called Thursday Confessions, a frustrated artist researcher talk, unedited and unrehearsed. In this talk, I will try to speak about my weekly updates about my research and problems that have to do with it. And if you are involved in artistic research, you probably know that there are quite a few problems. But that is not the point. I am really actually grateful to be a part of this movement, I would say, even because, as we all know, artistic research has started over 30 years ago, let's say, in the world of academia. It started to be recognized. So I am really feeling lucky that I embarked on this journey in this very early days of this type of research. And so today I wanted to speak about my journey, where it started and how it started, as a little intro into my life and my research and my personality, I guess. So I am originally from Lithuania, and my interest in theater started probably when I was I was studying at the Red Cross Nordic United World College, which is an international school in Norway. That's where I finished school. And at that time, I did not even take theater class as a subject because I didn't think that I am, talented enough to be doing theater. Because in Lithuania, we also have very strong culture when it comes to theater. We have quite a few recognized directors internationally. And the idea that I would be studying theater meant that I should consider myself to be somehow talented and very special, which I did not at the time, and I do not still to this day. But I guess my viewpoint about what is the kind of role of arts in people's lives has changed significantly. And so it is really thanks to the Red Cross Nordic United World College School that I started thinking differently about the theater and arts in general. And I did decide to, start studying theater. At the time, my teacher, Peter Wilson, allowed me to join his theater arts class, even though I was not officially part of that class. I was just joining as a person, like a side subject. And I was really intrigued by all the knowledge I gained there and all the embodied practices that we tried. And so I decided to continue on this journey. And I went to London to try and to apply for the drama schools. Fortunately, I have gotten a place in a performance arts course at the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama, which is a part of University of London. And it was very exciting 3 years of, meeting different artists that think of theater and arts in general, performance arts especially, in very various ways where, subjects became very interdisciplinary. And I was super excited about everything that I've encountered on that course. I started doing my own practice. I started writing and performing and everything. But when the course ended, I realized that I'm not really sure what to do with my knowledge and my skills and everything that I learned there. And so I had a little bit of a mental breakdown, let's put it this way, and I decided to go back to Lithuania, where I'm originally from, and just lead a normal life. And so I joined the corporate world and had a little bit of a career there and saved some money and stuff like that until I got depressed and eventually realized that I do need to go back to the theater making practice because I just cannot function properly without it. Fortunately, there was a new course at the Lithuanian Academy of Music and Theatre, and it was a master's course in acting, which was rooted in artistic research. And that's where I started my career in artistic research in Lithuania. Uh, I joined the course at the time. It was 1.5 years long, and I made my own play, which I have written, performed, and directed. And I also acted in it with a fellow performer, which was different each night. And so it was a part of my artistic research to really investigate how can I accommodate a different person coming into my play each showing, a person who would not know anything about the play beforehand, and they would just join on the night by me handing them the script and following the directions written on that script. So it was a very exciting project for me. It was very much rooted in the ideas of Tim Crouch, obviously, and to be more precise, his play, what's it called, An Oak Tree, was the source of inspiration. I have communicated to him about it also, and did inform him about this research in order, to make sure that he's informed that his ideas are being somewhat copied. But he didn't mind that, so that's a consolation. And it turned out to be quite an exciting little project. And so this was my first true artistic research project, which paved the way for me to continue in the world of academia. And then I embarked on a doctoral research journey at the same Lithuanian Academy of Music and Theatre, where I conducted research in theatre directing. And I very much wanted to investigate the role of audience in the performances, not an active role as in an interactive theater, but the role of an observer, which was very much inspired by the ideas in quantum physics. And of course, I guess many of us get fascinated by them whenever we encounter them for the first time, and so was I. So I got the funding to write a play inspired by quantum physics, and even I have consulted with the scientists in this field in order to complete it. And this play has actually become the main research, sort of, not the main subject of my research, but actually the main method, let's say, of investigated this chosen subject. Uh, However, eventually I moved on from the idea of investigating audience engagement, because my understanding has really shifted. I realized that by making a distinction between audience and performer, I actually am doing, uh, how should I put it? I'm making a mistake by actually even thinking about theater in those terms, as if there was a separation between audience and performers. And so what I did, I realized that I should think of the whole thing, and I should think of performance as a sort of system. From there, I got this idea that, I should sort of compare it to the conscious organism, and eventually ended up coining a new concept, which I call theater of consciousness, which today defines my practice, and also hopefully can become a source of inspiration for other theater makers, and not only theater makers but performance makers from the visual arts side, who can use this concept as a sort of inspiration or something like that. um, so yes, this is my journey so far. I finished my doctoral research 1 year ago now, and it has been a tough year afterwards, because I really didn't know how to proceed with my life again, because there isn't much support after you finish your doctoral research, and once you defend your art project. I found it to be a bit of a confusing time. Obviously, I've filled out many applications, including some for postdoctoral research, as well as applications for fundings to show my work. And then my work is actually some experimental theater shows that I made as an outcome of this doctoral research. But as you can probably imagine, it is not so easy to sell artistic research products, let's say, even though I do have shows that I have mm, devised as an outcome of this research, but they are not commercially successful shows, let's put it this way, because it's very experimental, this work. And so I only had the pleasure of showing my work in the context of, educating the audiences, or showing it in the context of the conferences, which is really not a money making machine. But so this brought me to the beginnings of this channel, I guess, because I really started wondering what is the identity of artist researcher, because in a way I feel like I don't belong to the world of theater in terms of the theater being as an industry, of an industry that produces works to sell. At the same time, I don't feel academic enough in order to be fully embraced by the world of academia, because obviously artistic research uses different means of communication, and it's still a bit, let's say, it is not acknowledged fully as a decent way of making research. I mean, there is definitely more recognition as the time goes by, but still, this position of an artist researcher is a strange place to be. And so I started interviewing people in Lithuania, artist researchers in the Lithuania, who are conducting research not only within academia but also outside it. And I have a podcast called "What's Down," which is meant for conversations on the problems to do with artistic research and the lives of the artists. And but actually, it has a positive spin, because I ask people to share their misfortunes and problems, but also speak about how those might have led to some artistic discoveries. And this is an extension of this idea, I guess, which I want to do more as a conversation in on international field, where I could include other artist researchers, but they would not only be from Lithuania, but also from different countries and different disciplines, probably also. So this is the beginning of it. As mentioned, I will be the person who will be leading this platform, but I would really very much like for the people to join it whenever they can, and maybe have conversations not only in the section of the comments, but also reaching out to me and having some live conversations in the format of a podcast, which I'm also intending to do. So that's a little introduction about me, and please reach out, tell me about your problems, about your worries, about your ideas on the identity of an artist researcher. And I hope we will have a fruitful conversation about it, which will perhaps lead to some new discoveries and assistance for one another. Thanks a lot for listening, and I hope that you have a great day over there, wherever you're at. And let's keep in touch on weekly basis in the next in the next episode of Thursday Confessions. Thanks. Bye.